everyone, and welcome back to Daily Life English Pod. I'm Sophie.
And I'm Andrew. Today's episode is all about something really important: visiting a doctor.
If you're feeling under the weather or just going for a checkup, knowing how to explain your symptoms in English is essential.
That's right. We'll go over key medical vocabulary, common expressions, and realistic dialogues to help you feel confident when talking to a doctor.
Let's get started.
Essential vocabulary.
Okay, let's talk about some words you'll definitely want to know when you visit the doctor. Sophie, why don't you start us off?
Sure thing, Andrew. First up, we've got symptoms. These are basically your body's way of saying, hey, something's not quite right. Think of things like a fever, a cough, or a sore throat. For instance, you might say, my symptoms started a couple of days ago. I've got a headache and a bit of a cough.
Exactly. And speaking of fever, that's when your body temperature goes a little higher than usual, usually above 38 degrees Celsius or 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit. You could tell your doctor, I'm feeling really warm. I think I might have a fever.
Perfect. Then there's cough, which is that rough sound when air rushes out of your throat. You could say, I just can't stop coughing and my throat feels really scratchy.
And another common one is sore throat, which is when your throat feels irritated or painful, especially when you swallow. Like, talking hurts. I think I've got a sore throat.
Now, if you're feeling tired and weak, that's fatigue. You might say, even after sleeping for ages, I still feel completely wiped out.
Right. And if you feel like you might throw up, that's nauseous. For instance, I felt really nauseous after eating that seafood.
Oh, and dizzy means feeling lightheaded, like the room is spinning a bit. You could say, I stood up too quickly and now I'm feeling a bit dizzy.
All right, now let's talk about noses. A runny nose is when it's just constantly dripping, you know? And a stuffy nose is when it feels completely blocked, like you can't get any air through.
Exactly. That's so annoying. The next symptom is when your whole body feels achy. That's called body aches. You might say, my muscles are sore all over.
And when the doctor asks about pain, they'll often say, where does it hurt? Or, how would you rate your pain on a scale of 1 to 10?
Okay, so let's cover a few more symptoms you might need to tell your doctor about. Like, have you ever felt like you just couldn't catch your breath?
Oh yeah, that's shortness of breath, right? Like, I get short of breath when I try to run for the bus.
Exactly. And what about when you get those shivers even though you're not cold?
Chills. That's definitely a weird one.
Great. What about when you're sweating heavily for no obvious reason, like when you're not exercising or hot?
Sweating, obviously, but it's important to mention if it's excessive, especially if you have a fever.
Right? Then there's when you just don't want to eat anything.
Loss of appetite. I hate that feeling.
What if your skin gets all red and itchy?
That's called a rash. For example, if you have an allergy, you might break out in a rash.
And if you, throw up?
Vomiting. Not fun.
And finally, if you're going to the bathroom way more often than usual?
It's diarrhea. Definitely something to tell the doctor. Those are all really useful. Now, let's move on to some common expressions you might hear when visiting a doctor.
Natural expressions.
If you're feeling unwell but not terribly sick, you can say, I'm feeling quite ill or I'm feeling under the weather.
If you suddenly get sick, you can say, I came down with something. For example, I came down with the flu. Or you can also say, I think I've caught the flu.
And if someone looks sick, you might hear you look a bit pale or you don't look so good.
When a doctor wants to check something, they might say, let me take a look or let's run some tests.
If you need medicine, the doctor might say, I'll write you a prescription.
And if the doctor gives advice, they might say things like get plenty of rest, drink lots of fluids, or take it easy for a few days.
One more useful phrase is take medicine as directed, which means following the instructions on how much medicine to take and when.
Those are all super helpful. Now, let's hear some of these words and phrases in real conversations.
Daily conversations. Conversation 1.
Good morning. What brings you in today?
I've been feeling really tired and dizzy for the past few days. I also have a sore throat and a bad cough.
I see. Have you had a fever?
Yes, I had a fever yesterday around 38.5 degrees Celsius.
All right, let's check your temperature and run some tests.
Conversation 2.
Hi, how can I help you today?
Hi. My doctor gave me this prescription for some antibiotics.
Sure, here you go. Make sure to take 1 pill every 8 hours with food.
Got it. Anything else I should know?
Yes, finish the full course, even if you feel better. And drink plenty of water.
Will do. Thanks.
Conversation 3.
Hi, Sophie. I just wanted to let you know I'm feeling really sick today.
Oh no. What's wrong?
I have a fever, body aches, and a really bad headache. I think I should rest today.
Absolutely. Take it easy and get some rest. Let me know if you need anything.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
That was such an important episode. Let's quickly recap what we covered.
We learned essential medical vocabulary like symptoms, fever, cough, sore throat, nausea, dizziness, body aches, and prescriptions.
Plus, we learned expressions like, I'm feeling under the weather, I came down with something, and take it easy. We hope this episode helps you feel more confident when talking about health in English.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and check out our other lessons.
Take care and see you next time.
Bye for now.